In life, we struggle to be perfect, but at the end, we all have the same ending, which is death. In Hamlet, Shakespeare explores the disturbing reality of mortality, explaining to us the meaning of life and the concerns of what happens after we die. The play explores themes of death and mortality. Shakespeare demonstrates these themes through his characters. The characters in the play all have different endings, such as the meaning and consequences of their death. In Hamlet, Shakespeare describes the fate of human experiences and demonstrates how death can be impactful to other people's lives. It also leads to a thought on the afterlife. One way Shakespeare explores death and mortality is through Hamlet, who struggles with the thought of what happens in the afterlife due to the actions he has taken when he was alive. The themes death and mortality is visible in Hamlet's action. Hamlet questions if he should continue his life and keep suffering or to suicide himself and face death not knowing what happens in the afterlife. Hamlet states, "To be or not to be, that is the question." This scene reveals Hamlet's emotion by showing how he wishes to die in order to not live in pain, ever since his father died. Regardless if he wanted to end his life, he also lived in fear of what happens after death. Another scene that explores death and mortality through Hamlet, Hamlet finds the skull of Yorick. When he saw it, he came to realize the reality of physical death. Hamlet states, "Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest and most excellent fancy." This scene connects with the themes of death and mortality because Hamlet understands that no matter how important you were or the way you lived, in the end, you were just going to die and become dust. This also leads to mortality because Hamlet came to the conclusion in accepting that death exists and that nobody lives forever. These two scenes also connect to other characters in the play, such as Claudius, who committed a sin, but at the end, he ends up dying as his consequence. Shakespeare continues to explore the consequences of actions someone takes that leads to no good, which may be death. Another way Shakespeare explores death and mortality is through Claudius, the king of Denmark, who was full of himself just because of the power he holds, but a power that wouldn't last forever because of a committed murder that ends up coming to light. Claudius feels guilty of killing his brother, so he starts to pray for forgiveness, but he also knows that Hamlet has been suspecting that he may be the murderer of his father. Claudius states, "Oh, my offense is rank, it smells to heaven, it hath in the primal elders cursed upon a brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent." In this scene, it reveals Claudius' guiltiness of killing his brother, leading him to fear death and what can happen after he dies due to the sin he committed. But he knows that in order to be fully forgiven, he has to give up his power in Gertrude, which he refuses to do because that was his intention ever since he killed his brother, which makes him selfish. Shakespeare explores mortality through this scene because he points out the consequence of his sinful action. Last scene that explores death and mortality, which is through Claudius, is shown in the scene where Hamlet and Laertes have a fencing match. But during the match, Claudius had a plan to give a poison drink to Hamlet in order for him to die. But as a result, it goes wrong on Claudius. Claudius states, "Hear thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane. Drink of this potion, is thy union here? Follow my mother." This moment connects to the largest themes of death and mortality because it shows how, even though Claudius had so much power, he was overcome by his own poison when his true intention was to kill Hamlet. This scene mentions the phrase "thy union," which is what Hamlet told Claudius before he died because he reminded him that he's married to his mother and because of his own poison it killed her, so he should also die too. This symbolizes that death is punishment for those who have committed sins. In conclusion, Shakespeare describes the meaning of death and mortality throughout the book and how our action can become impactful to us or to others, or a consequence may come sooner or later unexpectedly. Hamlet was one of the main characters who was grieving for his father's death and was looking for revenge to give justice for his father's death. but due to the revenge, he also ends up losing his mother. Claudius also desired to gain power, and he did, by killing his brother who was king. But then he dies as a punishment for what he has done for his ambition. But like it said, everyone will soon become dust. Shakespeare has given a lesson through the play of Hamlet by teaching us that looking for any type of revenge or holding grudges towards someone that has impacted our life negatively is not always good. Instead of looking for revenge or any type of negative action, it's better to find a way to heal from that personal experience and keep on going with your life instead of going in the wrong path.